How many years in prison would every villain from the first series of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo get for their crimes? I'm only looking at the first series for now. The second series, with the same name for some reason, is coming after this. We might as well jump right in with... In the series premiere, The Scarab Lives, Howard Kruger dresses up as Blue Scarab, reenacting the crime spree from the unreleased comic, which includes breaking and entering and grand theft of the jewel store and museum, assaulting the on-duty guard, plus breaking into the comic maker's apartment and subsequent assault. When the gang get involved, he tries to kill Scrappy-Doo with this gargoyle, and nearly kills Shaggy and Scooby by sending them on the conveyor belt to this hydraulic press. We're starting off hot with this one, with a life sentence plus 45 years in prison. In The Night Ghoul of Wonderworld, Mr. Marino uses the legend of the Night Ghoul of London in order to steal the crown jewels, attacking one of the guards and keeping them tied up to do so. When the mystery gang roll into town, Marino can sense his time is running out, and tries to drive them away by trapping Scrappy in this case, throwing this candelabra at Shaggy, and dropping a chandelier on him, Scooby, and Scrappy. But how long does he receive in prison? Well, it's elementary, my dear Watson. 2 life sentences, plus 23 years behind bars. In Strange Encounters of a Scooby Kind, Tessie tries to convince everyone that an alien stole over $1 billion worth of radioactive materials. She successfully evades capture by the police, so this is a job for where my tax money should really be going. The Mystery Gang. She adds on another charge of animal abuse plus a false imprisonment on Shaggy before her capture, resulting in an extraterrestrial 12 years in prison. In The Neon Phantom of the Roller Disco, Bill Walker puts on the Neon Phantom suit to try and shut down Sparkles so he can buy it. Overall, he doesn't do too much besides dimming the lights, so we can really only get him for trespassing on the Hollywood sign. Oh, and out of nowhere, he tries to kill Daphne, Fred, and Velma with this antenna. Okay, cool. 3 life sentences, plus another 5.5 years. In Shiver and Shake, That's a Demon Snake, we're going across international waters for this silver heist by First Mate Defarge. He steals a ton of silver ingots from Haiti, scaring the on-duty guard to do so, and smuggles them into the US. This makes the jurisdiction a little murky, but then again, so is the water in Florida. So what's new? Scooby-Doo and his little cousin get attacked, as well as Shaggy, which gives us a reason to throw Defarge into the brig for the next 45 years. In The Scary Sky Skeleton, Ed Drake dresses up as the Scary Sky Skeleton in order to drive away people from the airfield so he can illegally mine the oil from underneath. As the gang encroach on his operation, he takes it upon himself to try and take them out, assaulting Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy, before resorting to try and kill Shaggy and the rest of the gang too. In total, Ed racked up a grand total of 4 life sentences, plus another 15.5 years behind bars. In The Demon of the Dugout, Mr. Husai tries to stop the International Series game before the Americans can win the trophy, which he switched the diamond out of. He scares away the entire stadium of people, grabs Scooby's tail, and chases Shaggy away before his capture. I sentence him to watch the 2024 Chicago White Sox for the next 15 years. In The Hairy Scare of the Devil Bear, Chuck Hunt, I really had to work on my enunciating there, dresses up as the legendary Devil Bear in order to scare his fellow archaeologists away from the treasure of the US Mint he found. In the process, he takes swipes at one of the archaeologists, Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy with the sharp claws, destroys the cave paintings in Shaggy's book, and nearly gives Shaggy a devilishly tight bear hug. We dug up enough dirt on this archaeologist where there's no way to cover this up, and Chuck will be spending the next 79 years in an Arizona state prison. In 20,000 Screams Under the Sea, Tiger Morris tries to keep everyone away from the treasure of Acapulco by putting on the sea monster outfit, scaring Senor Valdez and the gang, before fully attacking Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy. He sinks their boat on the open sea, which I will give him the attempted murder for, capping it all off by breaking into the harbor police building, resulting in a 70-year sentence in Mexican prison. In I Left My Neck in San Francisco, Lefty Callahan returns as the Lady Vampire of Alcatraz, in order to retrieve the rare jewels she stole throughout the city. She goes on an absolute rampage, scaring at the very least 3 random citizens, plus Shaggy, as well as abusing Scooby and Scrappy. So she'll be staying at Alcatraz a bit longer, 19 more years to be exact. In When You Wish Upon a Star Creature, the observatory owner, Mr. Greenfield, spies on the local laboratory to steal their secrets. On top of that, to stop any meddling kids from ruining his scheme, he dresses up as a star creature to scare away the security guard. Add that to the assaults of Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy, plus breaking into the laboratory, and Greenfield will be observing the stars from his prison cell for the next 17 years. Before continuing with this edition of the Legal Analysis, I'd like to take a second to thank today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Seeing as I spend far too much time analyzing, writing, and editing, my eyes rarely get a break, which is why Manta's cool and steam sleep masks have been such a treat, and instantly help soothe my eyes from being permanently online. With the infinitely adjustable strap and C-shaped eye cups, it provides the comfort and relief I need to wake up and stare at screens again all day. If this sounds like something you could use, head on over there with the link below and use my code DALT to get a nice little discount on your order. Thank you once again to Manta. Now, let's get back to the video. In The Ghoul, the Bat, and the Ugly, Brandon Davies dresses up as the Shadow Creature in order to destroy a film reel that captured him stealing prize stamps from the store. He scares off, by my count, 110 people from his Batty Awards show, as well as the gang, plus the animal abuse for Scrappy. I mean, he's just a puppy after all. I'm sentencing Brandon to watch every Razzie Award-winning picture for the next 121 years. In Rocky Mountain, yee! Will Henry Pratt disguises as his great-great-grandfather Jeremiah Pratt in order to scare people away from the mountain as he looks for his lost treasure. He begins by scaring off 2 skiers before turning his attention to the rest of the gang, kicking a rooftop full of snow on them. Could be worse though, as he scares Shaggy onto the gondola lift and then shakes him off into the snow below. He's definitely getting a life sentence for that, plus an extra 13 years on top. In The Sorcerer is a Menace, Morgan the Magician uses the ghost of his dead mentor, the Great Haldane, in order to steal a precious black pearl. But we're not out in the Caribbean, we're in the land of opportunities, Atlantic City. Morgan gambled and lost, getting hit with a grand theft, a menacing charge of Shaggy, and an animal abuse for Scrappy, resulting in a 7-year sentence, and not even a gambling sponsor for his next show. In Lock the Door, It's a Minotaur, Nick Pappas uses the legend of the Minotaur to steal treasures from the Greek island of Halos. For the most part, he kinda just minded his own business, only attacking Shaggy and Scooby when they sat on him. If I could give any of these perps a pass, Nick would get it. I mean, look how cool he looks. But alas, the justice system only allows people in power and with enough money to bypass their punishments, so Nick will be getting 20 years in a Greek prison. In the final episode of the series, The Ransom of Scooby Chief, these 2 goofballs, Carl and Tony, kidnap Scooby for ransom, bringing Shaggy along for the ride too. While they try to get their money up, Scrappy and his gang get their funny up, but wind up getting hurt in the process, adding a couple more charges onto their total, as they end up with 67 years in a New York prison. In what might end up being the shortest legal analysis in the series, we've only got 16 villains here, but they more than made up for the quantity of crimes with the quality of crimes committed, as there were some underrated villains here, with some good creature designs too. A big shout out to the patrons, as always. If you want to watch these a few weeks early and get your name in the video, head on over there with the link in the description or in the card above. But of course, don't risk missing your basic needs for me. You watching is more than enough, and all the other support is just icing on the cake. I appreciate you all. And, bye.